Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Hosting Cruz, and crazy breaking news, guys. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the son of the legend, the great Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, if not one of. His son, Junior, former WBC middleweight champion of the world, has been arrested by ICE and is to be deported. This is just days after his clash with Jake Paul, where I believe Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. earned, a couple millions? Maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less, but he earned a good payday. But this is very unfortunate news for Junior, because not only he was always a good fighter, especially back in his time when he was WBC middleweight champion, he was also one of my favorite Mexican fighters. I had him against Jake Paul. I mean, he should have let his hands go more than what he did in the last two rounds. You should have let him go in the previous round, but it was what it was. But to hear that he got arrested by ICE, and now being deported back to Mexico, where he's facing charges, criminal charges, drug trafficking charges. And over the years, we've known that Julio had drug problems, or currently has. Last I checked, last I heard, he's a clean fighter. He's a clean man, not only man but fighter. But he's had drug problems for years, and when I read up on that he was drug trafficking and having relations with family members of a Chapo, who is one of the most famous criminals in all of Mexico. So I'm gonna read you guys something in a second, according to ESPN, and I quote, famed Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was arrested for overstaying his visa and lying on a green card application, and will be deported to Mexico, like I just said, where he faces organized crime charges, federal officials said Thursday. The arrest comes days after the former middleweight champion of the world lost a fight against Jake Paul in Anaheim. The Department of Homeland Security said officials determined that Chavez should be arrested June 27th, the day before the fight. It was unclear why they waited to act for days after the high-profile event. Chavez, 39, was picked up Wednesday by a large number of federal agents while he was riding a scooter in front of a home where he resides in upscale Los Angeles neighborhood of Studio City near Hollywood, according to his attorney. The current allegations are outrageous and simply another headline to terrorize the community. Many people across Southern California are on edge as immigration arrests have ramped up, prompting protests and the federal deployment of National Guard troops and U.S. Marines to downtown Los Angeles. Goldstein said he did not know where Chavez was being detained as of Thursday morning, but said he and his client were due in court Monday in connection with prior gun possession charges. Chavez's family issued a statement Thursday also afternoon in support of him. We have full confidence in his innocence. We firmly believe that the proper course is to allow the competent authorities to carry out their work without external pressure or speculation. Before his bout with Paul on Saturday, this past weekend, Chavez had fought just once in 2021 and had fallen to innumerable lows during a lengthy boxing career conducted in the shadow of his father, the great Julio Cesar Chavez, one of the most beloved athletes in Mexican history and boxing and Hall of Fame. The son, who has battled drug addiction for much of his career, has been arrested repeatedly. In 2012, he was convicted of drunken driving in Los Angeles and sentenced to 13 days in jail. And in January of 2024, he was arrested on gun charges. Police said he possessed two AR-style ghost rifles. He was freed on a $50,000 bond and on condition he went to a residential drug treatment facility. And we've heard that before. Junior has been on rehab over the years. The case is still pending, with Chavez reporting his progress regularly. He split his time between both countries' immigration and custom enforcement officers detained Chavez for overstaying a tourist visa that he entered the U.S. with in August 2023 and expired in February of 2024, Homeland Security said. And what we are in now, we are in July 4th, 2025 right now that I'm doing this video. The agency officer Chavez submitted multiple fraudulent statements when he applied for permanent residency on April 2nd, 2024, based on his marriage to a U.S. citizen, Frida Munoz. She is the mother of a granddaughter of imprisoned Sinaloa cartel kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Like I said, he's one of the most notorious and dangerous kingpins in Mexico. And the cartels, the Mexican cartels, are nothing to play with. Man, these guys, once you fuck with them and you mess with them, they chop your head off. They're vicious, and they do what they gotta do with that. They mean business in a bad way. You do not want to mess with them. And Chavez, according to what's been read here, his girl, although a granddaughter of imprisoned Sinaloa cartel kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. So he's family to El Chapo, basically. And that's not a good thing. And like I said, and we all know Chavez has had issues with drug problems. So maybe that's where he's been getting his drugs all this time. All that coke. U.S. citizenship connections, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services flagged ICE about Chavez on December 17, saying he is an egregious public safety threat, and yet he was allowed back into the country without a visa. January 4th, under the Biden administration, the agency said Mexico's Attorney General office said an arrest warrant against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was issued in Mexico in March of 2023 in an investigation of an organized crime arms trafficking allegations, and that Mexico on Thursday initiated extradition proceedings. A federal agent who spoke on condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to speak publicly on the matter, confirmed to the Associated Press that Julio Cesar Chavez. The agent declined to explain why Chavez was not arrested earlier in Mexico, despite going back and forth between the two countries multiple times. In Mexico, word of U.S. agents arresting a well-known athlete prompted mixed feelings. Martin Sandoval Penalosa, a newspaper seller in Mexico, said he believes President Trump wanted to make him an example. I think that's the U.S. government in this case. Trump is up to something, he said, adding that it was to attract media attention. Oscar Tien, a Mexico City storekeeper, said he wasn't surprised given the boxer's trouble. I think it was predictable because he has had a lifetime of drug use. Like I said, just said that. Chavez has had a history of drug problems, and maybe that's where he was getting his fixed connections from El Chapo. All that drug trafficking and stuff. Based on my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong. Despite widely being criticized for his intermittent dedication to the sport, Chavez still rose to his heights. He won the WBC middleweight title in 2011 and defended it 3 times. Chavez shared the ring with some general greats like Canelo Alvarez and Sergio La Maravilla Martinez, losing to both. In what was known to be one of the greatest final rounds in boxing history, where Chavez Jr. almost came from behind, getting out boxed for 11 rounds and almost knocking out Sergio. Chavez claimed to be clean for the Paul fight. He looked in his best shape in years while preparing for the fight, and I agree. When Chavez Jr. stepped on the scale, I was like, man, Jr. looks really good. I'm impressed. I was impressed. And he was in shape, man. He just pulled the trigger in the last 2 rounds, and he was in shape. He told the Los Angeles Times ahead of his fight with Paul that he and his trainers were shaken by the immigration arrest. There are a lot of good people, and you're giving the community an example of violence. After everything that's happened, I wouldn't want to be deported. Chavez Jr. words. Those are Chavez Jr.'s words. So it's very unfortunate situation for Julio Jr. But he's a very likable fighter, very likable person. He's had drug problems for years. Went to rehab. Don't know how much time, but he's been in there. Lately, he said he's been clean. Coming into the Paul fight, like I just read, he's a clean fighter. He was a clean fighter coming in. And he looked in best shape in years. So, you know, the signs were there that he looked sober. I mean, when he went on the scale, he had that look in his eye, like he took some coke. Like his eyes were wide open. You know, everyone in the comment section was like, man, that coke is serious. But all in all, man, it's a sad situation. Julio Jr. has been deported, will be deported back to Mexico as he faces drug problems, allegations, trafficking. And man, to read that it's linked to El Chapo, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. This is out of nowhere news. You know, we did not expect Julio Jr. to be a part of anything like this. But, you know, oh, we'll see what happens with this. I mean, I hope nothing happens to Julio. I'll be honest. I hope he's okay. I mean, we all, as grown adults, make decisions in life. You know, and when you're with the mother of one of the most kingpins, you know, dangerous kingpins in all of Mexico, in a chopper. He took a freaking tunnel to get out of the cell. Yeah. Years back. So yeah, let's see what happens, man, as the story unfolds. And yeah, breaking news. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's getting ready to be deported back to Mexico because, oh, he has an expired visa since 2024 of February. Miracle Boy Boxing, I'm your host, Jose Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.